what would you go back and tell your younger self if there was anything that you could?
So I'd say to my younger self is, I'd probably say, all right, little soldier, you've got this. And just know that I know everything you're doing is to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I wish you didn't have to do that because you are loved.
Yeah.
And I love you more than anything, and I'm sorry I don't know it now.
Oh my God, I love you so much right now.
But you've got this and carry on because look, it's all gonna be all right.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our Hidden Strength podcast. I'm your host Jess Bays, and this week we have got a superstar in the hot seat in the form of Fredrika. She's a radio broadcaster for Capital Dance, she's a model, she's a singer, and honestly there's a lot that this girl can do. She's a very talented little one, I think this one is. And she's also battled bulimia very openly and honestly on her socials. So please like, subscribe and enjoy this podcast, guys. This is a deep one.
Hi guys, welcome to podcast episode 6. I have my very lovely friend Fredrika here today. She is broadcaster, DJ, vocalist, model, voiceover queen. There's so many strings to her bow, and also super open about struggles with bulimia when she was younger. So I feel like it's really important for this conversation to happen and for you guys to get to know Rio as well. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good, darling. I'm good. How are you?
Busy, very busy. How do you feel like the floodgates have just sort of opened for us in our world?
Everything's just gone like 100 miles an hour in it. It's like 0 to 100 real quick. But you know what? I'm kind of enjoying the stress because, again, it's like one of those things when we don't have it, we're like, I want it. And then when we have it, we're like, whoa, it's too much. So I've just...
Because we're typical British people.
Kind of learned to just be like, you know what? Enjoy the ride. It's
100%.
Yeah.
Do you feel like mentally you're coping with the pressure? Because I've been struggling with the overload of work. Although I want the work, I've been like breaking down, you know, just because it's so much.
I think I get to a point where I'm one of these people that I'll do it until I can't do it anymore. So then I get to a point like
burnout.
The other day I had to have a couple of days off because I was just like, I've hit a point. I'm up super early. My day consists of like sometimes so many different things. And then I'm like, where's the time to rest?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to the point like I take it all on and then I'm like, So I'm learning that balance of being like, actually look after yourself and make sure you sleep.
I feel like we are very similar. We put sleep at like the bottom of the pile.
Oh, get it later. Get it later.
I'll just take all these jobs on. Let's work and work and work. And maybe that's a bad thing that we do. We need to prioritise self-care a little bit more. So tell the listeners about you. Let them get to know you a little bit more. What do you do? How did you get into this industry?
So I have got the breakfast show on Capital Dance, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. I do voiceovers. At the moment,
you do the best voiceovers. So before I knew Rio, guys, she actually voiceovered a lot of stuff that I listen to on TV, and now when I hear them on the advert, I'm like, "Hi, Rio,
I'm there. I'm in your house." But yeah, that is I love that job so much. It's just like, so when I say voiceovers, it's like for TV commercials. I've recently done the Domino's radio ads, so that's out.
It's great.
I do that in between ITV, so I'm like, coming up next on ITV. It's my voice.
Now you'll hear that, guys, and know it's Rio.
Love that. And then I've just started DJing. I've just kind of like, I'm doing it properly now because I was always wanting to learn and know what I was doing before I kind of marketed myself as that, I suppose.
Of course, I understand.
I don't really model anymore. I used to when I was younger, but naturally, just from this conversation, it's not something that I'm ever going to prioritise again. Because
right, so let's go there. Do you feel like that being in that industry was, I don't want to say pressure because that might be the wrong word, but did that maybe make you feel like you had to look a certain way and be a certain way?
Fueled the fire. I mean, like, I already feel like the issues started before then with my eating disorder and my bulimia and like my body confidence issues, but it definitely fueled the fire. Like, I'm already ill and then I go into an industry where
you have to be size
6,
like, it's great.
And like, there's kind of like, everyone's obsessed with the way that you look and you're obsessed with the way that you look.
You naturally do that.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything good for it, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's actually how I discovered you. Like, I didn't discover you on Instagram through us working together. We didn't actually work together at this point because I now work with Rio on Capital. I found you on the explore page of Instagram because you posted a photo of you like in like a really skimpy outfit, but like you could see all parts of your body, and it wasn't like you were like not stick thin, but like you were curvy and you were just normal. You were a normal girl. And rated you for posting that because the way you were sat, like you were caught sat like bent over, and girls don't pose like that on Instagram. Like they pose in the great light, and they pose where you can't see anything. And I clicked on it for that reason, and I thought, hold on, who are you for starters? Yeah. And then I realised when we were going to end up working together, so I kind of always knew that we were going to be friends because I got you on that level, and maybe you made me want to be more open about the eating side of things because I respected you for you doing it. So yeah, why do you feel like it's important to be open on social media?
So the picture that you were talking about as well, it's like kind of me sitting there with my rolls out in my natural form, how most of us...
But like you look beautiful, so there's nothing wrong with how it looks.
We all look beautiful when we look like that. It's 100%. Just that we don't recognise that because 100%. We've been so conditioned to feel like that's not the case. I'm very open on Instagram with my struggle with bulimia, my eating disorder, because it was in my life for so long and it controlled so much of what I did every day. Like for years I was unhappy because I didn't like who I was and I was constantly hiding something and there was a secret and just always negative self-talk. And now that I'm out...
bulimia is very easy to hide. It's
easy to hide than anorexia. Any addiction I feel is easy to hide because you're obsessed.
I feel like people don't get bulimia though. Like they're just... This one thing, when I was sort of coming out to some of my close friends now, they don't get it still.
It's not shame.
Just like, but it's like, why are you making yourself sick? Why would you do that?
But just stop it.
Yeah, there's more to that. It's not about making yourself sick. It's about controlling something. It's about having control over your body and the things you're doing.
Well, it's a coping mechanism, essentially. 100%. The way I look at it, like, I like to be quite visual with, like, my analogies. And it's like, the way that I've looked at bulimia is like, say, for instance, you've got a cut. And the thing is, my bulimia was like my plaster over that cut, but the cut never got any air to it. But I was just kept putting plasters on it to keep that cut there.
Yeah.
I needed to rip the plaster off, so I needed to stop the coping mechanism. I needed the bulimia to stop to see what this was that needed healing.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like the mental side of things. Like, my bulimia wasn't the problem. It was the reason my bulimia was there in the first place.
So, yeah, where did it all stem from? Because you were young.
I was young, yeah. So it kind of came, it was there, it was prominent in my life when I was 15, but I didn't really know much about what I was doing. I just didn't like myself. I was a 15-year-old in this world that's ever changing. Like, we don't understand.
Yeah.
We're not emotionally intelligent enough to understand what's going on. I
still feel like we managed to escape the bad years as well, though, because we didn't have social media like it is now.
Mate,
so imagine now us going back to when we were younger.
That is why I'm so set on being like, I need to be open with my story and be honest. And it's like, in all of my Instagram posts, I want to be as honest as possible. Even like photos that I edit, or not I edit, or I've been to a photo shoot and people edit it, or I've had my makeup done professionally. It is not real. None of that is real. I'm just like, guys, this has taken... If you've seen a picture of me all posed and edited, the chances of me actually ever looking like that, I probably never even look like that because it's been edited and I've had my makeup done, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But going back to where it started, mine started from being a young girl that wanted love, as I feel like we all do. I didn't love myself because I didn't know how to take it in externally. And I was searching for meaning. I was searching for love. I was searching for life. I was very confused. I didn't feel enough. I didn't feel good enough. It comes from a lot of things, childhood trauma, like parents not realizing that they're saying things that sometimes affect you. And again, not their fault. It's like they didn't learn that either. And people around you in your family, like I remember my brother always calling me porky and fat, and I was big boned and these things. And then when you don't feel enough, you kind of like, well, what do I need to change? In school, always finding it hard because I wasn't happy with who I was. Like another side effect for me with the bulimia was like compulsive lying. I used to lie about everything, and then I used to be caught out, and then people wouldn't like me even more. In the world. And I was like, I don't understand any of this, and I don't know why I'm doing it. I just want to be loved. And then I realized now where I'm at in this position where I feel fully healed from bulimia. And don't get me wrong, I still have days where I look at myself and I go, oh, you bit fat here or that. And I'm like, Rio. I'm like aware of the thoughts now, but I'm like, shut up. We're not going back there. I'm like, you are great. You're beautiful. I like make sure that I tell myself that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it started from, and then it was like naturally.
Do you remember the first time that you made yourself sick? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
So I don't remember mine.
I remember eating a full pack of biscuits in tea with my nan, and I remember eating it, and then I was like, I felt sick naturally, as you do if you eat a whole pack of biscuits. You know what I mean? And then I was like, I'm going to make myself sick.
For me, I have a phobia of being sick.
Yeah.
So if ever I'm out, like say if I'm out having a drink at the pub and I overdo it and I have to go and be sick because I've overdone it, I get so anxious to be sick. But then why, when I'm sober, do I eat food and then want to make myself sick when I'm so frightened of that experience? Like, but that's where the control thing comes, and the illness takes over you.
Yeah, and like I said, because it's not about the food, it's the reason that you're eating the food.
It's the voice in your head that overpowers you. It's like having a little devil on your shoulder. It's awful.
Because it's like the pleasure, right? Like the thing is, food's nice, but because it turns into an addiction, it's like you can't control it until you heal the reason why food is a problem in the first place.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Did you ever have for me, I know like my friends and family will know if I've got issues, because I will go and order the biggest pizza I can get and I'll smash the whole thing.
Mate.
And then it comes up like the next day or whatever. And that's how my friends know that, because like that would be my thing. Like anything that made me feel massive and then I could get it out of me. That was my coping mechanism. So like, was there anything specific for you?
I just like, my binges used to be uncontrollable. So my bulimia,
anything, I guess.
I had my bulimia for 10 years and I got to the point where I was spending like sometimes about £200 on food a day, and I was literally eating, being sick. I was just so lost. I was lost. And
Jesus Christ.
For the majority of the 10 years, I was sick, absolutely everything I ate. However much came out, I don't know, but
Do you have any issues internally now? Or are you
now,
fine?
Touch wood, I feel like they've healed, because when I first recovered, so I recovered 2019, that was my year determined to recover, and I had a lot.
That was
of
not
ups
even that
and
long
downs,
ago then.
Yeah,
2 years.
And then at the beginning of, I remember 2019 Christmas. That was the first Christmas dinner I'd kept down in 10 years. And from then, I think I was sick once again when I was hungover, and I don't think I've been sick since.
Amazing.
And that was it. And at first, like last year, I spent the year naturally recovering from bulimia. When you don't eat, I put on lots of weight and was really uncomfortable, went through a lot of identity issues,
but not even putting on weight. Like it's natural for that to happen. Like,
of course.
When I did my inpatient, I came out like literally 3 dress sizes bigger, and I've kind of always stayed that weight, and that was alone hard, because your BMI was normal, but it wasn't to you.
In your mental state, you're like, this isn't right. But also, like, why are we not celebrating weight gain in that way? Because
I think people are now. People are more open
it's
now.
Still so small. Like, the thing is, weight gain saved my life. Like, me gaining weight and eating food has been the best thing that ever happened to me, because I've, like, in a way that is a healthy way as well, because I've got my life back. Like, I didn't have my life for so long.
Mate, as an outsider, you've been in my life for what, 3 months? And you totally have your shit together. Like, I feel like it's not, that's why I wanted to get you on here, because you have so recovered from it. And I'd really, really admire you for that. And I think you've come out the other side of it, and often people don't, and it stays with you for life.
But I dedicated my life, I think, to trying to recover. Even when I was in like the worst of it, there was that little bit of hope in my head that I was just like, I can't live like this forever. Like, I always used to think one day when I do this, it will get better, and one day, but I kept plowing on. Like, I did everything possible for me to be like, how do I get over this? Like, there was so much over the years of like therapy and different workshops, and I definitely took the alternative route, because I was inpatient for a bit when I was 19. And I just lied again. I lied to the doctors I used to go in with change in my pockets, because at one point I was about 6 stone. I was like,
Jesus,
ridiculous. And I used to put change in my pockets to make myself weigh more, and tell her that I'd eaten like lamb chops and stuff. Like, who are we kidding? I might have eaten them, but they definitely didn't stay down. So I'm now just, I clearly didn't want to get better. And after that, I was like...
No, it's bulimia and anorexia are very much like, people don't get them, how they're not even just they're not a disorder. I like to think of them as a disease, because they are. Like, they don't just affect you, they affect your friends, your family. Like, the last podcast we had was Carly, Nikki Graham's best friend, and to hear her story about how Nikki lost her battle to anorexia, I just think was so sad that it defeated her. And there's so much. I know the mental health NHS service is under so much pressure at the minute.
It is, yeah.
If you have money. Like, one thing that Carly told me was that Nikki was just about to check into where I was an inpatient, and I said, my response back to her was, I wish she got the chance to go there, because it healed me within 6 months.
Yeah.
And her response was, that just felt like a knife in my chest. And I just felt so bad that I said that, but I meant it. I feel like if she had got the chance to go to a private care, she would have had the right help.
Yeah.
Like, did you go inpatient?
I never went inpatient. There was times that I like had to take it more seriously and go stay longer, but I never went into inpatient. I went to my cousin's for a bit when I was 19 because she was like, I'm taking you home with me and you're going to get better.
To look after you.
She followed me everywhere. She saved my life massively. She followed me everywhere. She was like, you're going to eat and I'm going to come everywhere with you. Like, she'd sit and watch me have a wee. She's like, you just need to get over this and I'm going to talk you through it. Like, we're going to get through this. And it was the best thing that ever happened. Like, because she made me think it was possible for me to actually get over it. I mean,
your living proof that it is very possible to get through it. It is possible.
And I honestly, like, if anyone's watching this that is experiencing anything to do with any disorder or any addiction, it's like, I honestly never thought in my whole life that realistically I was going to get over it. Like I said before, that I had hope, but the way that it controlled my life, I didn't know how I was going to get over it. Every day, there was not one day off for that long. But now, honestly, I can't tell you that no matter how hard recovery is, because it's fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
And like, there was times that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. My body was reacting and my mind was going.
That's one thing that Carly said about Nikki. That Nikki was ready for her body to give up.
Oh, yeah.
But I can get that. And do you understand that? You understand that state of mind?
My body felt at times when I was, but that was when I was very
want to overpower
skinny.
that. You're like, you can't deal with it anymore.
Well, it's draining. Like, constantly this voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, or you've got to eat, or you're this or you're that, and like that just never stopped. And I'd like, that's why I got to a point where I was just like, I can't do this anymore, and that something needs to happen, and I need to, because it was my secret for so long. Yeah. Because once I recovered for a bit after 19 being with my cousin, I then never told anyone again because I was so embarrassed that I was back in it. So it lasted until I was 24.
Is it just the bulimia that you've ever struggled with, or have you had any other mental health problems?
It started off as anorexia. It started off from a diet. I started dieting, lost loads of weight. Then I started restricting. It was anorexia for 2 years with the occasional bulimic. I took laxatives.
It's the same as mine.
I took these performance enhancers that sped up your heart.
Oh, wow.
Gave you a BADS.
I know friends who still do them, and I confiscate them when I see them. Yeah, I know. I have one friend that does them.
We get one body, man. We get one life. Let's not try and end it.
Agreed.
But I do understand that people do it to cope. It's just like, our lives are so beautiful, and I think I just would love people to see that more. That's why I
100%.
Yeah, I suppose post honestly about my experience with it.
So you're in full recovery mode now? Do you feel fully recovered?
I feel fully recovered. From my eating disorder, I feel so fully recovered.
Yeah.
I feel confident enough to give people support, talk about it openly. And
so let's talk about that. Do you ever have people on your socials that are thankful for how open you are?
It's been really beautiful. Since being open about it, there's been a few people that have messaged me direct, and I've kind of give them my experience, my advice. Yeah. Again, I'm not professional. I can only give you experience that I have went through and things that help me, the tools that help me, and I've given that to them. And had the most beautiful message the other day from an old friend of mine who I went to school with, we was like voice noting back and forth for a bit, and she was just like, I just want to say I'm so grateful for you. Like, she's been the longest she's ever been without bulimia. Amazing. For as long as she can remember, and she was like, it's because you gave me the hope. And it's just beautiful. It's eventually like my dream, what I'd want to do. I want to open a rehab centre.
Oh my God, 100%.
To make people, like a charity-based one where people don't have to pay for that service. And my thing is, I want people to stop focusing on the disorder and return back to love. We need more love in the world. We need more love in our lives.
Well, that's kind of why I got involved with this app. Like the Hidden Strength app was all about just providing a safe space for the next generation, I guess. Because,
and you're doing amazing.
But like we didn't have that when we didn't have that when we were younger. I feel like if that was there when we were younger, things might have been a lot different. Like there used to, for me, there used to be websites that were like, they were called Pro Anna or Pro Mia websites, but like you could go on them and it was like you would compare. You'd send in pictures of each other and compare, and it was like who could be the skinniest. And that is so, I don't know if they still exist now, but
they do still exist, and they need to get off the internet. They need to get off the internet.
But like, the kids need protecting, and that's why I want to get people like you on, because you're in the fame limelight, but like you still have issues going on behind. And I think it's really important that kids see that, being an influencer is great, like, yeah, you get a blue tick on Instagram, it's amazing, but like you don't see the backlash of what comes with that. Like we're having Charlotte Crosby on in a few weeks, and she was like annihilated by Channel 5. They did a whole episode with her about how bad her face was, and her agency actually emailed Channel 5 and said, please don't run this because it's going to be detrimental to her mental health. A year later, they run it anyway.
It's disgusting.
So yeah, in that sense, talking about kids, what would you go back and tell your younger self if there was anything that you could?
So what I'd say to my younger self is, I'd probably say, all right, little soldier, you've got this. And just know that I know everything you're doing is to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I wish you didn't have to do that because you are loved.
Yeah.
And I love you more than anything, and I'm sorry I don't know it now.
Oh my God, I love you so much right now.
But you've got this and carry on because look, it's all gonna be all right.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Love you loads. Thank you for sharing
I love
your story.
You, man. Thank you, babes.
Big love. Everybody. Oh, I love you. I need to give you a cuddle.